Hello, everybody. Welcome to another live stream with Mint Market. I will check my voice right away. Hopefully I'm not doubled. We have non-farm payroll Friday today. We already had the news driver. Let me mute myself real quick. All right. Okay. All right. Should be good. Should be muted. Should be fine. If not, please let me know. All right, so today we already had the movement. We had a big down day, big weekly range lower, and then we had what ICT calls TGIF. Thank God it's Friday. From the low of the week, we had a retracement back up to the 20 and to the 30% level. So the protocol for these days, once we had this 20 to 30% retracement, is that price tends to be very choppy, and it's not the best day for trading anymore. So we will see. It already looks like it once it starts chopping. So we have to see if we can find some high probability trades. We have taken out buy side liquidity after going to the 30% level. We had already a potential setup going lower, liquidity run, high, low, higher high, fair value gap entry, and now we are going lower and took out this low. But the potential entry is unfortunately already gone. And we have to see if we can find a good trade that is worth taking. Let me remind you that everything being said and shown here is my personal opinion. I'm not an investment and trade advisor. Please do not risk real money on anything being said and shown here. And also today, be especially careful because again, we can go lower once more, of course, but the protocols, ICT's protocols already say after this retracement, we are likely seeing a choppy trading day. Let's see if we want to go lower. So far it looks like it wants to go lower. If I look at the range, we are 50% was here, so we're already below 50%. Here we have the midnight opening price, 8:30 opening price, opening range gap here, another fair value gap here. I'm taking this off now. And here we do have the first fair value gap after 9:30. So far it looks like I'm going to take some annotations off here which are not relevant anymore. We have an inversion fair value gap here, and so far it looks like it wants to go lower. Let's see. How low it wants to go. We have another 15-minute fair value gap here. potential long entry here if we're not very weak. Market structure shift, retracement, fair value gap. So I'm not having a bias today, but actually we'll try a long here. No bias long, but retracement setup. And I will put the stop below here. And see if we can catch some movement up. It's a no bias trade. I'm watching here the midpoint. And we took out some liquidity here. And we have a fair value gap. And I'm looking for a, I'll put my stop really tight here. I'll put my stop actually below the midpoint here. And I will just a no bias scalp here. And I will see if we can get at least a little retracement run off this here. Not looking here for the monster move, just looking for some retracement here, some bounce here after this retracement here. And if I'm wrong, I will be stopped out, I don't care. Today again, not a really good trading day in my opinion. If it's really heavy, it might stop me out and it might want to go lower. But I have the premise that we are in a not trending day today anymore, and I'm looking to see if we can get a retracement setup here. So far it doesn't look very good. Back to the midpoint, and I might get stopped out here, looks like. Another bounce off here. That's a little bit better. And what I'm targeting here is the old daily low here, and also not the high, not the absolute high. We have a rejection block here. We could come back up here, but I'm not expecting another huge higher high. So far I'll have to see if I'm not getting stopped out. All right, we'll be stopped out probably. All right, here we go. Not a good day today to trade. That's why I'm only risking 1%, one contract, and I'm stopped out here. Oops, not what I wanted to do. Stopped out here. And so, yeah, whatever. Already told you it's not a good day to trade anymore. And we might just go lower. So we disrespected this fair value gap. That's some insight here, and it looks like we are drawing lower so far. We have still sell side liquidity here, which has not been taken. So maybe we want to go to this, but again, I have no bias. I have no drawn liquidity. I have no bias, which doesn't make this day very high probability. We have liquidity ran here. We have liquidity down here, and we might just be kept in this range here. We could make a lower low as well, of course, but I'm not expecting too much of this day today. Mean threshold of the wick, bullish order block, so might just have gone down here. And now go higher. My stop was pretty tight, was maybe a little bit too tight. Where could we draw into? We have a rejection block here, so this area here, we could trade into this area again, just to run stops for everybody who is short here. We had a market structure shift, retracement here. So far a nice move here. 3-minute fair value gap was overshot here. 2-minute fair value gap here, the bodies respected that one. And a nice little trade. So let's see if we can do anything without bias today. So far, I'm not sure what we want to do. We are in a discount. We had a market structure shift, took out liquidity, but we have already retraced 30% to the upside. So I would be looking for short, for longs if we haven't done so yet. If we haven't had the 20 or 30% retracement relative to this week, I would be confident, more confident taking a long. Since we have reached that already with this high here, I'm a little bit more skeptical. We are in a discount so far. On the other hand, we had a pretty bearish week. We could still go lower. I'm not sure if we're going lower this week. This might be the low of the week in my opinion. But we could go lower if we're really weak. There's sell side liquidity here. But what I'm expecting today is that we are basically stay here somewhere in the range, and that we do not make significant higher highs or lower low. That's what I would expect. If we make significant higher highs or lower low, I would expect it to be the downside. I think if at all, we could see lower prices still today. But we have to be kind of careful here. And if we trade, it should be a trade with a consideration that it might be not the highest probability here. I'm watching here. So far we disrespected this fair value gap. We disrespected it on the 5 minute at all, definitely. have a bullish order block here. So far we are into the mean threshold of the wick. Let's see if it wants to go lower here. We open at 830, so that's a potential point of interest. We may want to go back down there as well. So far it looks like it's staying weak. So far choppy turning point here, but respected all the levels nicely. One could have entered a short here. Riding this thing lower, putting the stop up here in hindsight. And so far it looks like we maybe want to attack the lows here. So far it looks weak. Let's see what we do after we take out the rejection block here. Oh man, I'm a little bit tired already today, this week. Looking forward to the weekend. Not too happy with this week, to be honest. Was very nice price action, very nice outlines, but I'm not happy with the outcome, with the profit, with the executions. There was much more to get out of this, to be honest. A lot of nice analysis, but nothing more. Expected to get a little bit more in terms of trade profit out of that. Hello, Abdul. I'm not thinking the market is very beautiful today. I'm actually very careful today, very careful, because all things the things I wanted to see have already outlined. Again, you probably have missed it. Weekly range so far, high and low. We had already a TGI Friday setup, so we had a 20 to 30% retracement. That's what we have already seen today. If you look at the red line and the yellow line, 20% retracement here, 30 here, and so far we are going lower. And after the TGIF setup, usually ICT teaches to not touch the market anymore. And I mean, we could go lower. I think the overall bias is still bearish, but we have already traded also in this daily fair value gap, so it might go lower and close lower and just drop, but I'd be careful today. I'm not expecting huge one-sided runs, and if we get that, it will be probably on the sell side. Yeah, Coke would be nice, but unfortunately I don't have anything at home, so I just have to grind through this session, and after I can relax. And yeah, the nice trade, or the trade I would have probably liked to do was outside of our streaming window. This is the sell here, would have been the trade I would have liked the most. Now I'm not seeing anything at the moment I'd like to do. index is looking beautiful. Let's see. Nasdaq. Hmm. Nasdaq took out the lows already. Yeah, nice. Market maker sell model. Hmm. Let's see. If the market is bearish, we should see some further move through here. It should show strength and just go through these lows like a hot knife through butter. If it comes back up in the range, then we have a choppy day. Maybe Abdul, maybe you're right. I'm not very, um, I'm not too confident yet. You might be right. We will see. I'm not too enthusiastic today about the market. There's at the moment nothing that excites me too much. Really, there is really nothing that gets me too excited about the market. I'm actually I'm my plan is to wait for the SPIX to just reverse above the liquidity, creating a S&P divergence. Not sure if I get it right. Above the liquidity to create the S&P divergence. So you're looking for longs or for shorts? Actually, the market really does not get me excited. I would turn the chart off at if I'd be alone at home probably. Because I don't know if I want to go long or short today. Like I have no bias at all. Like I think like if I think more likely is to that we could potentially go lower. That's okay, but where do I want to short? I don't know. And I don't have like a setup or something where I want to go short. The only place I wanted to go short is here. That's not available anymore. And I don't feel like very confident to go long here. So yeah, sure, but I need a strong, never too confident, just follow the rules. But I have to be, you might be right what the confidence of the entry is, but I know that no, I have no bias up to my problem today is I'm not sure about the bias, and that's my biggest problem. If I take a trade on, I have to have a strong likelihood about the target where it wants to go, and that's what I don't have. Like I don't think like I have a strong bias long. Like nothing excites me about the long target here. I'm we have buy side liquidity up here, but there's nothing like we have taken out this high. I don't think a higher high of the day is like really super likely. So I basically have no real target for longs today, like no real of interest. And to the downside, of course, you have the sell side liquidity here, but I don't want a short here. So for me, it's really like I'm really struggling. And the problem is like I have to be confident about where the market is going to. I need to have a draw. I need to say, okay, I'm pretty sure it wants to go there. but since we have already, like, it should have already, like, as Nasdaq should be weak here and should just go there through like easily. Um, we have taken out liquidity. Look how Nasdaq is chopping around back above again. So that's not really like encouraging for short here. It might do that, but it's not encouraging. And the sell side target was also reached. It can go lower, but look at the week. Like we had 1, 2, 3, 4 down close days. We had like a range of, let's measure it. We had like 200. The S&P lost 200 handles, 3.5% approximately. So it can make a lower low, but it's not super likely. So since we have Friday and since we had already basically non-farm payroll behind us and everything. So if gun to my head, so if I have to tell you a bias, I think it's bearish, but it's like maybe 51-49 and in my opinion, so it's not very high probability. And if I contrast some other days like yesterday or other days, like I'm like 80-90% sure what it wants to do. So and that's the difference. Like if I'm 90% sure that price is going there, then I'm looking for trade setups and then I want to engage. But if it's like 49-51 or something, then all right. So at least now it looks like it wants to go lower. So probably S and Nasdaq took out the lows, and maybe S&P is going to follow here. So the 51% seems to pay out. 0.1% is 4 and 5 handles. So let me see. You can measure that, I'm not sure. Yeah, so 5 handles is like 0.09, so almost, yeah. All right, looks like we're going lower for another run here. Looks like we're making a lower low here. All right. Looks like we're not done yet. S&P dropping. Nasdaq already dropped. We have a bullish order block here. And now it finds some wings. But the question is like, there is no chance for me for a high probability short at the very moment. I don't know where to short. There is no setup for me to short. Even if I would like to engage. Yeah, I missed it as well. I wanted to take a short here. Like if I would have taken a short, it would have been here, 15-minute buy side liquidity taken, and then market structure shift here, retracement fair value gap. So perfect setup would have been here, and you would have had 50 handles lower. So, but would have, could have, should have, exactly. So fuck it. It is what it is. Probably goes lower now. Who knows how far. The next target might be the sell side liquidity here. Let me check that real quick. yeah, sell side liquidity down here might be the next draw on liquidity today. And we have a 4-hour. Yeah, in hindsight, we should have taken the setups not in the silver bullet window, but yeah, it's the plan, it's the my strategy, so I'll stick with it. Sometimes it is like this. You were right. I'm also not very happy because the nicest setups were usually out of the silver bullet window, but usually it should be a good window, and the times will change probably at some point. So I will stick to it. I will not change my model. I will not change the times. It is what it is. Another date it will be perfect. It will be the perfect time for the entry. So gotta live with that. And I mean, there were entries. Silver bullet was here, but I just didn't see it. Silver bullet was here. I didn't have the confidence and not the trade plan. So in hindsight, I would not have taken it anyway. So yeah, yeah, it is what it is. Silver bullet is here, so if you cannot complain. So if you had everything right, you should have entered here 10:03, and you could have wrote the thing down 35 handles. So nothing wrong about the silver bullet here, but I just didn't have the bias short. Um, Again, like I'm not too mad that I missed the setup because I didn't have the setup. So I didn't see it, I didn't think it, so it's okay. Today I just like I'm angry yesterday because I had everything outlined, I had all the plans and I didn't take it or didn't could not take it. But today, in hindsight, you're always like it's always easy in hindsight. In hindsight, I can say, yeah, of course I would have shorted it, but like before when the setup occurred, I was like I didn't think about shorting at all. So it's okay. I would not have taken the setup anyway. Yeah. Yeah, that's the protocol for the silver bullet, exactly. It should take out stops and then reverse. And I mean, it did. It can do it before 10 o'clock as well. It did. There's nothing wrong with the silver bullet. In my opinion, the perfect silver bullet was the fair value gap 3 minute at with the entry at 10:03. That was the yeah any fair value gap after 10 a.m. and preferably the first. So here we have fair value gap entry, not fair value gap formed after 10 a.m. It can be formed before 10 a.m. So 9:50, 9:57, 3 minute fair value gap on S&P with the entry at 10:03. That was, in my opinion, the perfect silver bullet. But again, at this point, I was not long there. I was actually long, I took my long trade here. So I was not expecting it to go short like this. So I just missed it. Didn't have the read, didn't have the bias, so it's okay. In hindsight, this was the trade. Sometimes you miss it. No, the entry should be after 10 a.m. That's correct, but the fair value gap can form before 10 a.m. So it can go, you wait until 10 a.m. and then after you take a fair value gap entry. But the fair value gap can form before 10 a.m. It just goes in there it trades just to the fair value gap after 10 a.m. That's where you enter. You don't enter before 10 a.m. This is the perfect example of a ICT Silver Bullet here. Perfect one. But you have to have the bias and you have to have the target, and just didn't see it. The Silver Bullet setup forms after 10 a.m. The setup is it trades into the fair value gap. So this one trades into the fair value gap, but it can form whenever. It can form before. You just wait for 10 a.m. and if price trades into that fair value gap after 10 a.m., then you enter. The trade setup, the Silver Bullet forms at 10 a.m. Maybe it's just a misunderstanding, but the fair value gap can form before 10 a.m. Not sure what you mean. Yes, nah, but you can have a trail stop till 10 a.m. to see price reverse or not. I'm not sure what you want, what you're trying to say. I'm sorry. All right, so fair value gap on the daily was now has now be traded to daily fair value gap here. We'll mark it here. I will mark it here and we'll see. Actually, it drops further and further and further. Nice to see, nice to see. Drops and drops and drops. And sell side liquidity is here. Let's put the chart away here, and low here is 55438, and here 55438. So here, that's where the low is. That's where I think now we are most likely going. I think we can go to this low here. That's what we can take out. In the wait for 10 a.m., I missed the fair value before the 10 a.m. Silver Bullet. Let the trade continue till the sell side liquidity. And trail stop above the structure shift. Yeah, sure. I mean, go for it if you like. I mean, you can make up your own strategy whenever you want, right? So you can back test it and see, but as ICT teaches it, it's like you wait after 10 a.m., you see if there is a liquidity run, and then you wait for displacement, and then you take the fair value gap. Because he teaches that usually the high or the low of the day can form at forms around forms around 10 a.m. Another fair value gap here. All right, all right. So let's see. Um, let's see. I mean, I should not go for shorts. I might doing a trade for shorts, but actually my plan says I shouldn't. So we're already way in discount. But yeah, I kind of want to take a short now, but it's probably not a good idea. Whatever. I'm a little bit not in the best mood today. Trading got on my nerves a little bit. I feel like, I don't know, I didn't like the week. I'm a little bit pissed about the week and about how the price action went and all the trades I missed. So I'm a little bit feeling like I want to revenge trade now. A little bit angry on the trading market, so probably will do some stupid stuff. All right, I will just do it now. I don't care. Fair value gap here, taking a short here, and let's see. I'm gonna take a tight stop. Um, we are already pretty much in a discount, but whatever. I have a target, and come on. Here is a potential take profit. And so far we have traded lower after trading into that 3-minute fair value gap. And I will hold for the trade and see. I will actually move the trade, the stop a little bit lower because it should not, it has taken out the low here, so it should not come back and take out the high anymore. So let's just see. I will just let it roll here. another low here. And I will put the stop loss to break even now, +1. I actually will put it here. And let's see what it does. Looks good so far. Let's see how many candles we're left until we see the daily low here. Another fair value gap here. Let's see if that ate some resistance here. We'll move the stop even lower. So locked in some profits here, and the old daily low I have outlined here, probably going to be hit. We'll leave it here. Just go there below now. Get into that. I will actually lock in some profit now, and I want to see my target reached now. If it goes higher, I don't care. It can stop me out here. It should just go lower now and take out the daily low. Should just stay heavy. If it takes me out, I bucked enough. I banked enough. 10 handles, nice little trade. 11 handles on the S&P. All right, stopped out here. That's okay. And still profitable day. And we have made up for our little loss before and added up something too. So a little bit more to the account now. And yeah, we can see now and observe if that daily low will be hit. And as soon as it hits, I will stop the stream today and I will start into the weekend. So first long failed, obviously, because the bias was too strong. We had a huge down continuation. And now I think we are going to take out the daily low here. Low is 5438, 5438.25. Let's remove that. 38, yeah, that's okay. So that's our target here. And let's see how. I think we'll see that smashed pretty soon. And I will end the stream after we did that. I actually have to stop the stream anyways. Pretty on time today, because I have an appointment at 5 o'clock. So I will probably stop in 5. I will close the stream probably in 5 minutes. Another small little fair value gap entry here. And now it on the 2-minute, and now it should go lower and take out the daily low here. Right. Almost there. Almost there. And here we got the hit. Low 5439. That's good enough for me. We'll go through anyways. Next candle will probably be a large down close candle. Quick little one. Yeah. And there we go. Nice little target hit. I don't know how far it will go lower. It might go much further. I don't know how far it can go. Next potential target can be the midpoint of this gap. So we could watch that one. It's approximately 5419, 5418. So we can watch that and see if we get that today. Yeah, that's it from my part. I will close the stream now. I have an appointment later on. I hope you could get something out of that, of the analysis and of the trade example. And I will be back on Monday streaming again. And I wish you all a great weekend. I have to take a little bit time off the charts and get get recovery, and wish you all the best. Have a nice weekend, Abdul, and see you next week. All right, then